An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own.
You're tuned into an album a day. Show start.
Okay. Right off the bat, let me show some love because out of all the unscripted or extemporaneous shows in this series, today's will be the most off script I've ever done. Well, probably not today. I'll say this whole discography experience will be the most off script I've ever done. We're early into all of this, and I usually have a little bit of notes to just kind of guide me. But I'm just going to go with my feels on this one. This will be the most off-scripted experience to date. So I don't want to miss out on acknowledgments because I'm in my feels. And you heard my little computer just ping itself back on. So like my body is semi-ready. So this show, An Album a Day, is truly supported by the efforts of my Megwalas. Y'all are the most amazing fan base a little weirdo such as myself could ever have. So special shout out to my Patreon patrons, the student body, and the scholars. These lovely peeps keep my vision of becoming your favorite Korean music historian, exploring another industry from A to Z, a real thing. If you're interested in supporting the growth of this podcast and supporting content, please visit patreon.com/multifacetedACG, and for as little as $1 a month, you too can help me to secure K-pop themed handkerchiefs for when I get so emotional while recording, the thug tears come out. Hankies are more environmentally friendly anyway. My tone of voice don't even sound the same compared to other episodes, but my girls, about my girls, oh man. Yeah. I'm just going to go directly from Wikipedia in terms of their introduction on their page. They were active from 2009 to abruptly 2016. That's my own opinion. Oh, I'm so in my feels. Like, oh, I love them so much. Okay. 21. Yeah, that silence was real, y'all. Oh, man. Like, my eyes are filling with tears and my heart hurts and everything. It's amazing how much you can love some people you've never met personally. You can love the music, the artistry that they share with you. And no matter how much time passes, because we're 3 years out at this point, it still burns. It still hurts. Okay. 21 was a South Korean girl group. What? All right. Because it's bound to be someone listening to this like, I don't care about no 21. Get to the facts. I support your show, not your antics. Okay, I'm sorry. 21 was a South Korean girl group composed of Bom, CL, Dara, and Minzy, formed by YG Entertainment in 2019. Good Lord, 2009. I'm just out here messing up. After appearing alongside boy band and fellow label mates Big Bang in the song Lollipop, which was a promotional single for LG Electronics, the group rose to fame with the release of their two eponymous extended plays, 21, 2009, and 21, 2011, and two studio albums, 2 Anyone, 2010, and Crush, 2014. All peaked at the number one position on the Gaon Album Chart. They also scored 9 number one hits on the Gaon Digital Chart with Try to Follow Me, Go Away, Lonely, I Am the Best, Ugly, I Love You, Falling in Love, Missing You, and Come Back Home. The quartet simultaneously conducted a similarly successful career in Japan, releasing first a Japanese version of the second EP, Nolja, which was 2011. It's really Nolja, the way that it's spelled, but Nolja, which means play. And follow up with the studio album Collection 2012 and Crush 2014. Following a long-term hiatus, Minzy departed the group in April 2016, while the rest of the group disbanded later that November. Yep, I'm tearing up if you're hearing my voice shake. There's no tears yet, I'm just sad. Though CL and Dara remain signed to YG Entertainment for reasons I can't even make sense out of. Clearly, if you have not noticed, I'm adding my own words and alliterations and articulations to this description. Bone's contract was not renewed. Their final single, Goodbye, was released on January 21st, 2017. At the peak of their career and prior to their split, 21 was considered one of the most successful and popular girl groups in South Korea. They were that deal. Having sold 66.5 million records, they are one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. I'm so choked up. Billboard magazine, thank you, Airplay, for flying past. Billboard magazine ranked 21 as one of the best K-pop girl groups of the past decade, while the New York Times named them their performance at the Prudential Center in New Jersey as one of the best concerts of 2012. There was nothing like them. The only group that was close at the time, and they also disbanded, and I'm gonna be a wreck when we talk about them too, was 4 Minute. These women, these 4 amazing women, were so cutting edge, so nothing like what the scene had already had. Of this particular time in K-pop, I got into K-pop in 2012. At this particular time, my hero groups, my heroes were Girls' Generation, because I had never seen a girl group with so many members in my life. Like, how do you get that many people to work together that long? FX, who are the label mates of Girls' Generation, 4 Minute, and 21. But of those 4 groups, 21 reigned supreme. They were everything for me. And the reason I'm so choked up trying to explain all of this, good God, the reason I'm so emotional on this particular podcast is because when I got into K-pop in 2012, it was a very difficult time in my life, and I've always appealed to music. I've always loved it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I grew up in a family that has a great appreciation for it and a diverse variety of it. Diverse and variety are the same thing. Just work with me. I'm over here in my fields, wiping my eyes with a fried chicken restaurant napkin. Even in my fangirl pain and feels, I still have a sense of humor. But when I got into all of this, I got into it by Big Bang, who was their label mates, and I didn't know what, the language was. I was extremely confused. I was just appealing to the aesthetic and the westernized vibe of the music. And then I saw 21 and I saw I Am the Best. And I'm like, hey, that's a girl anthem. I can rock with that. It wasn't until I heard their song, It Hurts. And I didn't understand the language still at that time. I couldn't even pronounce how to say hello or anything of the sort. But the video and the emotion and the way that these young women were singing, and I can't even say all of them young because I'm still young, but 2 of them are my age, basically. Bohm is older than me just a little bit, and me and Dara are the same age. And to see the emotion that was in that and everything, for me to not understand the language before it to articulate what I was experiencing at that time, it blew my mind and it melted my heart. And I fell in love with them, and I fell so in love with what they represented. Yes, Bohm has had cosmetic surgeries, multiple ones, and that's her personal choice, just like it is anyone who chooses to do that. But for the most part, these women decided to not do anything to themselves that was ultimately noticeable, or to alter who they were. They had these amazing vocals. They had this young, charismatic leader, CL, who nobody could touch. Like, she really is the baddest female in all of this to me. Like, there are other dynamic young women and older women in the entire scene, but like she was toe to toe with them. You don't pick who and or what impacts your life, but these women impacted mine. And I'm recording this episode just a few days shy of one of the groups I mentioned just a few moments ago losing one of their members for eternity. So I'm very sensitive about the protection and keeping of these women at this time. I'm protective of virtually any of these groups that are special to me, but like I can't talk about them the way that I would talk about M Black, or the way I'll talk about Vix, or how I'll talk about Got7 or Red Velvet. Those groups matter to me in their own special ways for different reasons. But these women and FX and 4 Minute and Girls' Generation, they are a part of the soundtrack of my life. And the way that they were done on a business side of things was so dirty that it breaks my heart to this day. And a lot of their fans, Blackjacks is what the fan base was called, and it's still called. A lot of us are just busted up. We're just busted up and broken. And I really thought I would have the capacity to be able to do this episode without being so destroyed. But here we are. They did so many awesome things while they were a group of 4. They appeared on America's Next Top Model. They did collaborations with Black Eyed Peas and a lot of things with will.i.am. He really, really respects the young ladies. The quartet, they appeared on an episode of The Bachelor in 2014. That's the same year that they were on America's Next Top Model as well. But they were definitely, and Wonder Girls. Like, Wonder Girls don't have the same impact on me, but I'm talking about what these girl groups did to unite these nations that just don't get enough credit. Like, Wonder Girls was the first ones to come over in the United States and really do that thing, you know? And then Girls' Generation came. I remember seeing them on a Tonight Show. Like, a lot of what's happening now that we see that seems so second nature for us, like, these women were a part of that. They were a part of that movement, you know? So they toured China, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand. Sorry, they got a lot of love for the Philippines because Dara is a freaking goddess there. Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia. They did a lot, and then it just ended. It just stopped. It just stopped. The last time we've seen the 4 of them together, they were on stage for Mama, and they were able to do a performance for the last time as a foursome, and it was dynamic. Minzy freaking killed, like, oh my God, it was just murder. It was everything. Oh man, it was such a good performance. It was everything. It's one of the best performances of 2015, period, of any music act. It was that dope. Even just CL on her own when she stepped out to do solo work, which none of that came to the full level of fruition that we all anticipated and hungered for. Like, even Spotify and Twitter gave her a nod in 2016 when she was doing stuff on her own. And it just blows. But the last time we saw them together was earlier this year. This is 2019, with all of my crying sappy glory, when they came together to observe their 10-year anniversary. And it's back to silence. Minzy just had some performances abroad, and Bum is participating on Mnet's show Queendom out of her own pocket. And her and Dara did their own rendition of 21's song Lonely, which is my most favorite 21 song, my karaoke staple. They did their own version. Every time that Bum is present somewhere, she makes sure to shout out 21 by throwing up their hand sign and everything. Like, it's like this love relationship that just ended when it didn't have to, for reasons that we'll never have all the detailed information about. And it blows a hole through my heart. But I'm going to rep for my girls so super hard during all of this as we talk about their discography. So as a group, as a foursome, and I'm going to even count as when it was 3. Oh, it hurt so bad when the first images popped up without our Magne being there. Okay. Their discography, they had 4 studio albums, 3 live, 1 compilation album. They had 8 videos. Video albums, 8 video albums, 34 music videos, 3 EPs, 23 singles. We start at the beginning. We start at 2009 with the EP 21. They had 3 albums named after themselves. Talk about not being innovative. But they like, whatever, you gonna know our name. And I'm like, you're right. 21, which is also known as 21 First Mini Album. It was their debut EP. Came out July 8th, 2009. It only had 3 tracks on it. This is the only album of theirs I don't own. It's the only one I don't own. And it was only 3 for crying out loud. I'm not too pressed for not having it. Plus it had Lollipop on there, which was a promotional song that was done with Big Bang for the LG Scion. And it had Fire and I Don't Care. All of those songs are iconic in their own way. They just are. 21 had a serious devotion to dance pop, and it really allowed them a lot of space to be able to be creative about their production and arrangements. It really did. Teddy from One Time, we've talked about them before, and you're gonna hear him a lot when we talk about YG because he's the producer that keeps on giving, whether good, bad, or indifferent. But Teddy really crafted the majority of their sound for their albums and for their debut. Teddy Park was on all of it. Kush also helped with a few of the tracks. And I'm really wrong. What I said was it was only 3 on there. It's 3 singles. It's 3 singles. I want to be clear about that. It's 3 singles. It's 7 tracks on there. But Teddy Park is on all of them in terms of production. Kush happened a lot. That sounds so wrong. Kush happened a lot. Kush helped out a lot. And then Master Wu, who is also a Korean hip hop veteran, and it'll be a long time before we get to him. Master Wu helped with one of the tracks on the album as well. So you got Fire, I Don't Care, In the Club, Let's Go Party, Pretty Boy, Stay Together, and then Lollipop. The hallmark song of this. Yes, everybody likes to go, I don't care. Yeah. But it's fire. It's all about fire. When YG Family would do concerts, 21 would be the party starters. They'd be the first ones out. They would start with Fire. And CL would do her, I'm getting choked up. It took my voice for a second. It would always kick off. Like, am I going to be able to get through this? Like, am I really going to be trash the whole time? The whole time. You all deserve so much more from me than me getting jacked up like this. It would always start off with her iconic intro. I go by the name CL of 21, and it's been a long time coming, but we here now, and we about to set the roof on fire, baby. You better get yours, because I'm going to give mine. Let's go! Her voice will always crack on that part. With every live performance, it would always crack. So if you've ever heard anyone do to anyone, this is the song that it came from. And like, it's it's a staple. It's a K-pop anthem that is known. Whether or not you're a fan of this group or not, you have at least heard that. And it's undeniable that that's a part of how the group was acknowledged. If you were a big YG fan before all of the scandals that rocked the industry, there are countless videos of T.O.P. from Big Bang and G-Dragon from Big Bang, both strong artists in and of themselves on their own, both in front of the mic and behind the board. Thank you very much, but we're not on the bees yet. And Top is my ultimate bias, y'all, which coincidentally CL is my ultimate female bias. So yeah, like I'm hurting talking about this, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm doing my best. Y'all have hung with me this long. It's countless videos of them messing with them, talking about I go by the name of Thea 21. So it's undeniable. They had a very unique and edgy style to themselves. They were hip hop focused, yes, but they also exuded this very strong femininity. You never had to worry about them pulling off that cutesy wootsy stuff, not in the least bit. Hairstyles was edgy, makeup choices was edgy, which was, new in and of itself. If you ever have been out here in South Korea and can see all of the makeup options that are available for the women and men and every other pronoun in between who wears it out here, they're all pretty much the same colors and whatnot. These ladies would do like speckled eyeshadows or crazy streaks in the hair and whatnot. There was a moment when Dara had the same haircut as G-Dragon, and all of us was just convinced that it was a relationship. You can't tell me it wasn't one, but anywho, like they didn't have a look like everybody else. The only people who had anything similar was FX, 4 Minute, and Girls' Generation. So like I appealed to that difference that they brought to it. Girls' Generation would accommodate the whole synchronicity and sameness that you see a lot out here. But their outfits, 21, their outfits were like really bright and big and insane. They were like, sneakers that had teddy bears built into them. They were really Moschino hoes, like for real, Adidas all day, like what, but I think the Adidas relationship is more so with YG than it is them, because Blackpink continues that relationship now. But they were just bold. It was nothing like them. Then when they came and did It Hurts, they had like a goth vibe. Like what? Like, what is this? When they did I Miss You, CL's hair was just... We're getting off track. We're not on those albums. We're on the first one. And I didn't rank it. Look at me. So, K-pop fans on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being essential listening and 1 not worth mentioning, the A3 Day rating on their debut album, 21, the first album, is a 4. It's a 4. Can't be a 5 because it's a little bit dated. And that's okay. Fire stands the test of time because it's a fan favorite. I don't care, it's enjoyable, but the overall album, it kind of just gets a little loud and chaotic. I can't give it a full 5, but I'm happy with the 4 that it has. And I promise I won't cry until we get to until like the next 2 albums. I'll be fine when we talk about their last album, but 2NE1, 2010 and 21, 2011, those albums came into my world at the right time. So I'll probably be emotional talking about those. It wasn't painful listening to this album. It will be painful listening to the next one so that I can give you the appropriate assessment for which songs are the wins and not just my personal opinions. You can go ahead and hear what I've included on the A3 Day playlist on Spotify from these ladies. I went ahead and just knocked it out already. Like, let's just get it over with and just put all their songs on there so I don't have to do it one at a time. I hope you enjoyed the playlist. It's called the A3 Day highlights. And yeah, I'm gonna go blow my nose now. This hurt. Bye, y'all. Hey y'all, Ashley here, better known as Multifaceted ACG, and I want to thank you for checking out my podcast and rolling with the magic that's going on this show. If you happen to be listening to this on iTunes, could you please be a kind person and go right into the podcast and make sure to mark it and possibly leave a comment? Those things help with the exposure and the increased opportunities that come along with being a podcaster. It only takes a couple of seconds. I appreciate it. Bye, y'all.